Hello. Jose?
Hi, teacher.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, I'm doing well. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Mexico.
Ah, from Mexico. Okay,
Yes.
good. And so I'm Kate. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, teacher. Where are you from?
I'm from the United States,
Ah, okay.
but I currently live in Andorra.
Andorra?
Yeah, it's a small country. Do you know where it is?
No.
It's a microstate in between Spain and France.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm an English teacher here.
Is your first class, teacher? I don't remember
It's my
you.
it's my first class actually, yeah. So you'll have to let me
Okay.
know if I'm doing anything wrong. Let me know, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And have you taken a lot of classes on verbling, Jose?
Yes, teacher. I have studied in Berlin maybe 2 months, and I have
Okay,
taken a lot of class.
good. And mostly at the intermediate level?
Yes, sometimes I take a advance,
Okay.
but not much. Only when it's for example, classes for interviews, for
hmm
works, or something
Okay.
like that.
For
I
work?
take this class. Yes.
Okay. And what's your background in English? Have you studied English for a long time?
Yes, in the school I study around 5 years,
Okay.
but then I stop, and I'm studying in Berlin 2 months
Okay.
ago.
Good. Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so we have Paco.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hi, how's it going?
Doing well. Thank you. You?
Good. I'm doing well, thank you. Rafael, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, doing very well, thanks. And where are you two calling from?
I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. And you,
Yeah.
Paco?
I'm from Spain.
From Spain. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
nearby. I'm in Andorra.
In Andorra. Oh,
Yeah,
in Spain. I'm in the in the other parts of in the south.
in the south. Okay.
Yes, in Malaga.
And Rodolfo, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Rodolfo?
Hi, teacher. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
welcome. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm fine, teacher. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so it looks like most of us are here, so I think we can go ahead and start the class. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so as you know, today's class is going to be about modal verbs and giving advice. So I want each of you to think for a moment about who you ask for advice. So if you have a problem or a question, who do you turn to for advice?
Anyone?
Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Depending on
you'll, sorry?
depending on the situation
Mhm.
in where you are, depending in what your need.
Okay. So, for instance, if you have a problem with a girlfriend, who do you ask?
It's a hard question. I don't know, my mom or my family, friends.
You would ask your mom or family friends, maybe people close to you. Okay, good.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yes. Well, I always ask for advice to my partner.
You ask your partner for advice. Good.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
the people closest to you.
I have two sons, two,
Uh-huh.
two children, but
Two children. Good.
children. Well, they are 20, but how would you say children as well, or
Children. Yes.
no? Uh-huh.
They're your children. Yes.
Yeah. And when they don't live with me,
Okay.
they live with their mother. And when
hmm
I have a kind of problem with them, or I I think of them because they are the most important thing in my
Okay.
life, you know. And
And
when
so
I have
you You ask them for advice.
Yes, and
Okay.
no, I asked to my partner.
Ah, you ask your partner. Okay.
Yes,
Good.
she's
Very good.
wise.
And what if you had a medical problem? Who would you ask for advice?
A medical problem?
Mm-hmm.
The doctor?
To the doctor, right? Okay, exactly. Right, so it depends on the situation, right? Who
Yeah.
you're asking for advice. Okay, to those of you who just joined, welcome. We're just talking about who we ask for advice. Okay, and so obviously before we start practicing giving and receiving advice, I just want to review the modal verbs that we use commonly in giving advice, and to make these structures. So is everyone familiar with modal verbs? What we mean by that?
Yes, of course.
Yes? Okay.
Could,
All right.
would, yeah.
Sorry?
Could, would.
Could, would? Okay, good. So today we'll be talking about can, could, must, may, might, will,
Should.
would, and should. Good. Excellent. Okay, so seems like this part is easy, right? So you've heard these. We use them all the time in English, right? They're super common. And it seems like you've studied them before, a lot of you. So what are some of their uses? We know, obviously, giving advice is one of them. What else do we use them for?
To talk in the past.
Okay, it depends. Some of them, yes. Mm-hmm.
Obligations.
For obligations, very good.
To ask questions politely.
Very good, right? So, can I please? Could I? Da-da-da. Good. Anything else?
For suggestions.
Probability.
Sorry, one at a time.
Suggestions.
For suggestions, good.
Orders.
Orders,
Must. Yeah.
right? Good, with must especially. Good.
Probability.
Probability, very good. Probability or possibility. And then also, what is can used for?
Ask for permission.
Ask for permission, and if you use it in an affirmative statement, so I can play football.
Ability.
Ability, excellent. Okay, good. So, great, you know all the uses, and then the one we're talking about today is giving advice. Okay, so for instance, a common one is you should stop smoking, right? You should exercise more, right? So we use them all the time. What would you tell if your friend, for instance, were failing a class? What could you tell him using, let's say, using the verb should? What could we tell him?
You should do it more often.
You should do what more often?
You just said leave the class, no?
No, no, if your friend is failing the class.
Failing the class.
What do you mean by failing the class?
Yeah, failing is like an exam, no a class, no?
To fail.
You should study more.
Right, excellent, good. You should study more. So to fail means to fail a class. To fail a class, it means you get an F or you get a 0.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're failing, good. Whoever said that, you should study more. Excellent. Great advice, right? Okay. So, and then one important note about modal verbs is they are unlike other verbs, right? They don't change their form, and they don't have an infinitive or a participle, right? So if any of you are very interested in grammar, this will mean something to you. But basically, the important thing is, for at least for this conversation, is that in the third person, so he, she, it, we do not add s, right? Normally with other verbs we add s. Here it's I can open the window, you can open the window, he can open the window. It stays the same. All right, any questions so far?
Nope.
No.
No. Okay, so specifically for giving advice, we're going to talk about mostly a lot of the modal verbs I've introduced already, and then a few extras that don't necessarily follow the pattern. So take a look at all of these verbs that I just pasted into the chat box. And I want you to decide, so read through these. If you have questions about the meaning, let me know. And then I want you to decide on your own which of these verbs are the strongest, which ones are used for suggestions, and which ones are used for obligations. and I want you to try to put them in order from the strongest to the least strong.
I can't see the link.
Sorry?
I can't see the link.
You can't see the link. There's not a link, it's just the verbs that I pasted into the chat box.
But the chat box is empty. My chat box.
Ah, it's empty. Can
Yes.
anyone see them?
I can.
You can. That's strange. Okay, let me see. Chat?
I use Hangouts.
The verb in
them?
chat.
No, no.
No? Okay, so
No,
can you
okay.
use the... So I have been using the verbling chat. So if you can't see it, do you see on the left? There's a little
Yes.
icon that's blue, and it has a yellow V in it.
Yes, but it's always in blank. Always.
Ah, okay. It's always...
I don't know why. I can only use the chat box.
Okay, well, I will post both in the chat box and in the verbling box.
All right.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Am I speaking too quickly for everyone?
No.
Okay, I'll
No,
try.
it's okay.
I'll try to keep a little bit of a slower pace. I have a tendency to speak quickly, so if I do, just tell me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now, again, take a look at these verbs in the chat box and try to put them in order from strongest to least strong.
Write in the chat.
You can write in the chat, or you can just tell me out loud.
Must.
Okay,
Me.
must. Good. Must is definitely the strongest, right? Must because must and have to.
Have to.
Because
Yes.
must and have to express obligation. Good. So those would be at the top.
Yeah.
They are the strongest. And then what would come next?
Might.
Okay, before that,
Have
Right.
better.
had better.
Have
Did someone
better.
say had better?
Okay.
Yeah, so had better means it's a little bit less intense, we'd say, than must or have to, but it suggests that it's more polite. It's saying, well, it's a good idea to do this. You had better do this. And then what would come next?
Might.
Might is actually the least strong. Might is one of the least strong. You
Maybe
might want
would. Yes.
should. So I would say should would come next. Right? It implies a choice. You should do this, but you do not have to. It's my recommendation. And then we would have would.
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 Okay,
Could.
and then would and could. Good.
Could.
Very good. And then might at the end. And okay, so just to review that, so the strongest are must and have to, right? And the negatives also of these, must and have to, which mean this is an obligation. You must do this. You need to do this. And then we have had better and should, which are kind of in the middle. And then the less strong are would, could, and might. Okay. And sorry?
Can you give me, please, an example with had better? How do you say?
Absolutely. So, it's raining.
Uh-huh.
You had better take an umbrella with you.
And is it common used in conversation, this had better? Because I never heard.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty common. So often we say, I'll type it in the box, you'd better. Here, and let me type it in both boxes. So we abbreviate it, right? So you'd is you had. And so we say, it's raining, you'd better take an umbrella. We say that a lot.
But if you say without had, you say you better without.
Yeah, so
what does
okay,
that imply?
here's the thing. That's we say that a lot speaking, right? But it's not technically correct.
Okay.
So writing, you would have to say you'd or you had. But essentially, when we speak, we often drop the D, so it just sounds like you better. Or even in the U.S., you better, right? We really squish the words together.
Okay.
Is there a negative form for this?
Yeah, you just add not. You'd better not. So you'd better not eat too many sweets before dinner, or you won't have an appetite.
Yes. We can listen to the song Timba.
To the song?
Timba.
Timber.
Timber.
You're right.
It's a good sample.
Very good. A very good pop culture reference.
Better.
Okay. Good. Okay. Any other questions now?
Yep, you'd better. Where stands on the how strong is it?
I would say you'd better is at the top. Or so you have must and have to. Those are the strongest.
Yep.
And then had better would come right after that.
Clear. Okay.
Okay. So it's a little bit less strong. Hello, welcome to whoever just arrived. Okay. Hi. All right. So any other questions?
No.
No.
Had,
Okay.
had
All
better is similar to ought to. No?
Ought to. Ought to is another one. I didn't include it because, at least in spoken English, it's not quite as common. It's a little bit. From like 20 or 30 years ago, people said it more, and so we don't say it as much now in spoken English. But it's correct. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And one other note. So with would, when we're giving advice, the structure we use. Does anyone know how we use would to give advice?
If I were you,
Excellent.
I would.
Right.
Go
If I were you, I would. Da da da. Okay. And I don't know if any of you saw the video I posted on Verbling, but I talked about conditionals, and this is a second conditional. So if that means anything to you, we always use a verb in the past tense, were, and then a modal verb, would. Okay, so if I were you, I would, da da da. So for instance, my friend needs money, right? Her rent is expensive, her car broke down, she needs money. So I'd say, if I were you, Susan, I would get a part-time job. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you, one by one, to give me some advice using these modal verbs. And I want you to go from the strongest to the least strong. Okay, so I'll first ask for advice using must or have to, and then with had better, etc. I'll go from strongest to least strong. All right, so here's the problem. John has a problem. He saw his best friend's girlfriend with another boy holding hands at the mall. He wants to tell his friend, but he is afraid. What would your advice be to John? What would you do?
Must.
Okay, you must?
You must talk with her.
With him. Do you mean with him or with his girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
Okay, so it could be
I
either,
think with
right?
his girlfriend.
You want to talk with his girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay, so you must talk with her. Okay, and what must you tell her? What would you tell her?
That please stop this relationship with the friend.
Good, yeah, so you must stop this, right? You must stop this relationship. Very good. Okay, what about with have to? What advice could you give using have to?
You have to quit this relationship.
You have to stop this relationship.
Yes.
Okay? Or you have to end this relationship. Good. Good. Anyone else?
You have to break out.
You have to
with
break
your
up. Good.
You have to. I'm
I'm having
hearing
trouble
a
hearing.
noise.
Yes. I'm hearing someone with a lot of children. Huh?
Yes, it seems.
Ah.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of children there.
Okay, sorry about that. Wait,
You have
it
to.
came back.
Yeah.
What do I do?
You have to choose. You have to choose one of them.
Okay. One of them is?
your friend or your boyfriend, no?
Uh-huh.
You have to choose one of them.
Ah, you have to choose one of them. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good. All right. And now anyone. Sorry?
I would tell him you should ask your girlfriend why she was walking with another man and holding his hand. Ask
Good.
her first.
Okay, so you should simply ask her.
Yep.
Be
Just
nice.
ask her what happened. Don't
happened?
assume.
Okay, good. Very good. All right. And what about advice with had better?
You had better be prepared for the fight.
Very good. You had better be prepared for the fight. Who was that? Jose? Who was that?
Edward.
Eduardo. Okay, good, Eduardo.
You
All
had
right.
better find another girlfriend.
You had better find another girlfriend. Okay, a little extreme, but good. Very good.
That's
Perfect.
opposite of ask her.
The opposite of ask her. Yes, I'm hearing a lot of different advice. Okay. Quickly, can someone give me advice with should? With should. This one is easy, right? You should.
You should keep an eye on her.
You should keep an eye on her. Excellent. Does everyone know that expression?
Yep.
Yeah, to keep an eye on means to just be vigilant.
You
Okay.
should check their her cell phone. Maybe you can find more information.
So you should look at her cell phone. Okay. You should snoop on her. Good. All right. And finally, can someone give me, this one is my favorite, the if I were you, using would.
If I were you, I would break up with her.
Excellent. If I were you, I would break up with her.
You could look for other girlfriend, maybe.
You could look for other girlfriends. All right.
If I were you, I would ask, why are you behaving like this?
Okay, good. So good. The only thing is, since this is reported speech, we'd say, if I were you, I would ask her why she is behaving like this.
Yes.
Right? But very good. Okay, good. So it seems like you have the hang of this. So I'm going to introduce you to some different problems, and I want you one by one to give me advice. Okay, so some advice for what you would do in that situation. All right?
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm just going to call on you randomly. Okay, so my first problem is, hold on. I have a terrible memory, and I forget absolutely everything. So let's see. Eduardo, what should I do?
Well, it's not that important, so I'm not going to use must or have to.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you advice. So you should visit or get an appointment with a psychiatrist.
Good.
With a doctor, yeah.
You should make an appointment with a doctor. Excellent. Okay. Good. All right. Another problem I have, Ismail, is I am a shopaholic. I can't stop buying clothes. What should I do?
You should visit a psychiatrist.
I should visit a psychiatrist. Very nice.
A shrink.
I should see a...
You should invite me when you drink.
Excuse me?
Shopaholic. Shopaholic.
Ah, okay.
Shopaholic.
Alcoholic.
Alcoholic, no. So here,
Alcoholic.
this isn't a real word. Hold on. A shopaholic, right? We say it's someone who has a problem where they spend too much money. They spend money they don't have on clothes. Okay. All right. My next problem is for Jawad. Wait, can you hear me? Oh, he's muted, right?
Yes, I can hear
You can
you.
hear me? Okay. Jawad, my car ran out of gas at 2 a.m. and I have no money with me.
Yes.
What should I do?
it should be ask someone for money.
I should ask someone for money.
Yes.
Good. Very good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to mute you again. Is that okay? Sorry. Okay. Next. All right, it was just very loud. Okay, Jose, I have left my books on the bus.
Sorry, teacher, I don't hear you well.
Sorry, I have left my books on the bus.
You must forget your books because you don't recover.
Ah, good. Okay, so here, you must forget about.
About them?
Yeah, or you must forget about them, right? Because you will never find them again. You will
Yes.
never get them back. Recover is correct, but it's a bit formal.
Okay.
Good, so you must forget about them.
But would it be better to say you'd better forget about her, about
Either.
them?
I think, yeah, maybe. You'd better forget about them.
I think that is better.
I think that would sound a little bit more natural. Maybe in spoken conversation, yeah, you'd better forget about them because...
you must sounds like crazy, like you're crazy, and it's like you must forget her.
It doesn't sound crazy, but it sounds a little bit... It's not as natural in conversation, right? We don't say must very often. We usually say must in more formal situations. So yeah, you're right. You'd better or you have to are more common.
Okay.
So you could easily say you have to forget about them because you'll never see them again.
Teacher,
right?
but for example, if your mother, can you use must because she's hungry, or not necessary? Only the way that you use these words.
Okay, so by formal, I don't mean
We lost her.
Yes, we lost her. Yes. She's frozen.
Right?
No.
Wait, I think my internet is having problems.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, it should be fine now. Okay, so any other questions about that? No.
No.
Okay, all right, good. So, other questions? No questions.
No question.
No questions. Okay. I have a ghost in my house. So, Michael, what should I do?
Well, you have several. I can give you several options. So one of them, it could be you should you should look in a newspaper for ghost hunters. They could help.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, probably, right?
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. It's from a movie.
Oh, okay.
But ghost hunters would be better, right? Okay, good.
And
so that's one option.
yeah, second one could be you should try to sleep better. Maybe you don't have any ghosts, but you just have rich imagination. Can I say? Is it correct to say?
You have it's better to say a vivid imagination.
Vivid, yeah, it's a collocation. Okay. And you should rest more. And the third options, you should make do with that.
You should make do with that. What do you mean?
So you should accept that.
You should accept it. Okay.
What is the make do? Is not correct to say. Is it correct to say
you should make do with what you have means if you for instance, you want to
oh, now I understand.
So make do means you don't have the resources.
Yep.
Right? But you have to deal.
Oh no.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Sorry, I don't know if this is my internet or what's happening. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry again. All right, so yeah, make do.
You better contract a better connection.
You'd better get a better connection. Very good. So you'd better get a better connection.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. You're right. I need to. I have to get a better connection. Okay. Who's next? Miguel? Hello?
Yes,
Hi.
okay.
Okay,
Hi.
Miguel. Hi. My doctor just told me that I only have 24 hours to live.
Wow, very difficult.
A difficult one for you.
Yes, I think my best I recommend you speak with your boyfriend and to take the best trip around the world.
Okay, I like that.
In 24 hours?
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. I think I would get on the flight, get off the flight, and then that would be it, right? But I like the idea. You would travel. You must buy life insurance. All right, Jose. Good. Excellent. Okay, Paco.
Yes.
I have an exam tomorrow, and I haven't studied.
Oh, you have to study.
I don't have time.
You don't have time. You have to study harder for the next time.
Okay, good. So fail this one, study harder for the next time. All right, very good. Thank you. Rafael, my dog won't stop barking.
You should give him more attention.
I should give him more attention. Okay, good. Very good. And last but not least, Rodolfo, I have ruined my sister's favorite shirt by getting ink on it.
Excuse me, teacher, I don't understand.
It's okay? I have ruined my sister's favorite shirt because I spilled ink on it.
What is ink?
Ink is the substance that's inside of a pen.
Okay.
So ink is what gives a pen color, what allows a pen to write.
Can you write in the verbally?
Ink. So the question is.
Teacher, I don't understand. Excuse me.
It's okay. Here, this is a difficult one. So I'm going to type it. Okay. I've ruined my sister's. I have ruined my sister's favorite shirt. So to ruin means what?
Mess up.
Yeah, I've messed up, right? I got it dirty. So I got ink on her shirt, and it's her favorite one, and I don't know what to do.
You should buy another shirt for your sister.
Excellent. Very good. You should buy her another shirt. Perfect. Okay. Great. So that was great advice from all of you. Do any of you have questions?
Would you take our advices?
Would I take your advice? Advice, singular. It's uncountable.
Yeah, it's uncountable.
Good. Some of you. Some of you. I think a lot of you have good advice. Okay. But a lot of shoulds. You would bring it to a dry cleaner's. Good. Here, one thing. A dry clean. Okay. So, next.
I suppose, teacher, a question. I suppose it depends of the context, no? Because we use should with friends, usually, and not in a business way. Maybe it's another way to say more politely.
Okay.
And I don't know. Or with your family, you can use if I were you, I would because you can put it in his position because you know it really well. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe
Okay.
there is some different situation, no?
No, I think that's very true, right? So as we talked about before, must is a bit more formal, right? And it would be strange if you were talking to a friend and said, Robert, you must do this. That sounds a little bit antiquated, right, from a long time ago. But have to, had better, should, if I were you, I would, and you might want to. Those are all very common. So should is maybe the easiest, and it's the one we use in the question. We say, what should I do?
Must could be an aggressive form to speak, teacher? Must?
It could be a bit aggressive, right? It's polite, but it's a little bit, it's almost too direct. So I would stick with, if you want to be very forceful and say that it's really an obligation, I would say, you have to.
For example, if your boss used this word with you, could be aggressive or only an instruction for to do the thing?
Well, it depends on the situation, right? If you know that your boss thinks you've done something wrong, I would say it could be a bit aggressive, but if your boss sent you just a standard email saying, okay, to file this correctly, you must click on da-da-da, and then go to this website, whatever. That's just instructions. So I think it depends on the context.
One question.
Yes.
In a polite, it's good to give advice in a conditional term. If I would.
If I were you, okay, so it's polite, but it's not especially formal. So this is something that we say pretty frequently, and it's common to say this to friends, right? If I were you, I would do this.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not especially formal, but it also wouldn't be inappropriate to say it in a formal context, if that makes sense. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for instructions, is it better to use for instructions you have to than
You
must?
have to. It depends. So if you were writing a manual of instructions for your office, I would use must because it's more formal.
But
if you're telling your friend how to drive to your house, I would say have to.
if you tell, like, you're speaking with kind of customer or something, and you're giving them instruction how to use something.
I would say in spoken English, have to is probably more common, and it's not too informal for a business setting. I think it would be fine.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Okay, so now I want you to take turns asking each other questions and getting advice from one another. All right, so did any of you see the document that I attached to the class?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. It's here. Can you access this document?
Yep.
All right.
Yes,
so,
sure.
So these are some different problems, and you will be saying that you have these problems and asking your classmates for advice. Okay? All right. So who wants to start with a problem?
Can we make up the problems?
You can make up the problems too. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I start.
Even better. Okay.
Okay. My neighbors are really noisy.
Good. Okay. Who has advice for Eduardo?
Me.
Okay.
You have to move to other city.
You have to move to another city.
City, not apartment?
Yes, maybe an apartment, other apartment.
You have to move to another apartment.
Yes.
Good. Okay, excellent. All right, Jose, since you answered, you choose a problem now, or make a problem.
Let me think. I am very fat, but I don't like exercise.
Good. Who has a suggestion for Jose?
What do you advise me for?
What do you suggest?
Okay. For maybe Michael.
Okay.
So can you repeat you're fat and what else? What did you
Yes,
say?
I'm very fat, but I don't like exercise.
Okay. Get over it. You're fine.
What's that?
You're fine. Get over it. Can I
You're
say?
fine. Okay, but can you try to use one of the modal verbs?
Okay. You should go to the gym. This is firstly. Secondly, you should change your diet. You should eat less flour. Like what is the word when contains flour?
You should eat less carbohydrates.
Yeah, carbohydrates
Good.
and more vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
And you should move at least 30 minutes or 30 minutes to 1 hour per day at least. And you
Okay.
should exercise in the morning and the evening.
Okay, Michael, you sound like a nutritionist. All right, so Jose, what do you say? Do you like his advice?
No, because I don't like the exercise, and
Right.
he recommend me make exercise
Oh,
and go to
no.
the gym.
That's the problem. He doesn't like
I-
exercise, Michael.
Oh no! So what can I recommend you? You can be fat as you are. So
You should accept it and stay fat.
yeah, you should accept it and stay fat if you don't like.
Understand.
Okay.
All right, well, I think your other advice, though, was good, right? The eating healthy, all of that. You had, I like this. You should have a Mediterranean diet. I don't know if anyone saw that. Ismail, type that in the chat. Okay, start a Mediterranean diet. All right, Michael, what's your problem?
Well, my problem is real. I have an accent in English, so when you hear, for example, now when you hear, I have a huge accent, and I would like to get rid of it to sound better, like to do not be so distinguished, like to be a little to have a little bit a little bit better pronunciation.
Okay. And who would you like to ask for advice?
You, teacher.
You, Caitlin.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I think
honestly, give me a good advice.
Okay, I think first of all, you have your accent is quite good, but I think if I were you,
Okay.
I would listen to the radio in English.
Okay.
And I would watch TV in English, and I would try to shadow native speakers. Have you ever heard that expression?
No,
to
never.
Shadow?
Like copy, no? Imitate.
Yeah, so it looks a little bit strange, but so if you are watching television or listening to the radio, you basically softly repeat everything the native speaker says.
Okay.
And so just you copy their Von Radio in Spain. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so you copy their accent and you try to make your words sound like theirs. Okay? And one other thing you can do is try to find a language partner. So I don't know if wherever you live, if there are a lot of native speakers, but you should look for someone that you can practice English with.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you for your advice.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Okay. Who hasn't gone in a while? Let's say, Rafael, why don't you think of a problem? Or choose a problem.
Let me see. I'm always late for work.
Okay. You're always late for work. Who would you like to ask for advice?
I choose Mikhail.
Okay.
Sorry, Rafael, can you repeat, please?
I'm always late for work.
Okay. I think you should sleep before and do exercise after the work. Do exercise and after sleep, go to sleep very early. I think it's will better you wake up early, you breakfast a lot of, and you have a good.
Okay, so his solution, his advice is you should go to sleep early.
Yes.
All right, good. Excellent. And Mikael, what's your problem?
I hear a lot of BBC speak. No, sorry. I hear the broadcast in BBC radio, and I understand a little. What do you recommend to understand
Okay,
more?
who can give Mikael some advice?
Miguel, where are you from?
Spain.
Spain. Well,
Yes.
I recommend you. I write it on the chat box. I recommend you to hear to listen to
To listen to. Good.
Bound Radio.
Sorry.
You can find it written in the chat box.
Here, I'll copy it to
Bound
the verb link box.
Okay.
Von Radio.
You can listen to the radio directly, or even better, you can download an application for the smartphone, an application who is called Bound Radio. So you can hear it very clear, better than the radio. And they have for the Spanish people who are learning English, they have a lot of programs to learn English, but all the radio is in English.
Very good. Very good advice.
It's very fun as well. It's a very good additional thing to Berlin.
Thank you.
Very good advice, Paco. And is Von Radio, just because some people may be interested, you could use this to shadow, right? Shadow the people on Von Radio. Is this produced by, who produces this radio?
The manager is Richard Baum.
And is it Americans or British people?
Yes. He's from Texas.
Ah, okay.
He's from Texas.
From Texas.
But he has spent a lot the last 40 years here in Spain.
40 years. Ah, okay. And so he produces this radio station to help people learn English.
It's very famous. He even has a program in TV, in the Spanish TV.
Oh, okay.
But it's very early in the morning. It's
okay.
I think it's at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, good. Thank you. Great. All right. So Paco, tell me, do you have a problem?
Well, my problem is very similar to Rafael. I go to sleep very late at night, and I find it very difficult to get up in the morning.
And who would you like to ask for advice? Someone who hasn't given advice yet.
For example, Eduardo?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. I was with another thing. Yes. But you said you wake up really early in the morning?
No. I go to sleep very late at night, and I find it very difficult to wake up. Not to wake up, to get up in the morning.
Okay, because you don't sleep enough hours, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
Who doesn't have that problem? Right? Everyone has that problem.
Then I take a great nap in the afternoon, and again I go to sleep late at night.
Yeah, if I were you, I would take advantage of the weekend and recover these hours of sleep. It's what I do. I go to the beach, take a walk, swim a little bit, and take a long nap at the weekend. So yeah, and recover some sleep because I also only sleep six hours a day, something like that. So yeah.
Okay, so Eduardo's advice is find a beach and sleep on the beach during the day.
Yeah. No, at the weekends, recover
weekends.
all the
I take
the lack
that's
of
good advice.
hours of sleep. Yeah.
I take a long nap as well, but the problem is that I take that long nap as I am very awake, as I am very recovered, I go to sleep too late. I'm not tired at night, so I go to sleep very late.
Okay, so what can he do?
Well, with 2 drinks only, is you are not going to sleep. My advice to you is you should take at least 5 or 6 drinks before go to bed.
All right, I don't know about that advice. I was going to say.
Good advice.
Okay, I think maybe better don't nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Avoid alcoholism and do not nap.
But the nap is my best moment in the
best part of your day. Fair enough.
Because I'm tired.
All right. That's fair. Okay, so has anyone not offered a problem yet?
Yes.
Okay, who is that?
Me, teacher.
Who is me?
Ismail.
I can't see you though. Okay, well.
The bridge with the sea.
Ah, okay, Ismail. Okay, so Ismail, what's your problem?
I have no fashion sense.
You what?
I have no fashion sense.
You can't feel your face.
Fashion. Textile.
Ah, fashion sense. Fashion sense. Sorry.
Oh.
I thought you were saying you have no facial sense. What I heard was facial. You know what that would mean? That would mean that you don't have any feeling in your face.
Yeah.
So I was going to say you should probably go to the hospital. Okay, but fashion sense.
Good advice.
All right, so who has some advice?
Michael.
You want to ask?
Michael, what do you suggest, Michael?
Michael, what do you suggest?
Well, I think you are a man, and you shouldn't have any fashion sense. You could wear whatever you want to wear. You look fine like that. Do you like my advice?
What do you say, Ismail?
If you don't like, I give you a second one that you would like. So you should go to a stylist, and he or she would help you with that question.
Okay, the second one is more proper, I think. Thank you.
The second one is better.
I would choose first, though.
The first one is probably less expensive, right? But it depends.
It's for men.
It's for men, okay. All right, anyone else? Who else has not offered a problem?
Me.
Me, okay. What's your problem?
I don't know how many time do I need for improve my English every day.
Ah, okay. So, how should we phrase that? I don't know how much time I need.
Yes. Do you need for improve your English?
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
By day,
if you look in the chat box, this is a better way to phrase it. So, can you read this?
Yes.
Okay.
In the chat box, okay. Sorry.
Or sorry, in the verbling box.
By day.
Wait, sorry. This is a better way to say this. Sorry, ignore the Bon radio. I don't know how much time. Can you read this for me?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how much time I need to improve my English every day.
Good. Okay, so just a little bit better phrased. Okay, so who do you want to ask for advice? Or does anyone have advice?
Maybe Michael?
Michael is very popular for the advice.
So can you repeat your problem, please?
Psycholog.
I don't know how much time I need to improve my English every day.
Okay, so sounds like you need at least 4 hours per day. You should visit verbal classes. 4 hours per day at least, but better to be if 8 hours. So from 8 hours, like 3 months, you should do that, and you should visit you should come to reading classes, more reading classes, and you should listen more, like for when people read and ask questions about words, about like what do you don't understand, and in 3 months you'll have a huge improvement. This is based on my experience.
And Michael, you did this with Verbling.
So you suggest 4 hours by day?
4 to 8 hours. If you can, 10 hours, but that's extreme, 10 hours. I don't know if you could.
8 hours is not too much? 8 hours?
Well, you want to improve, so you have to do that.
Okay.
So basically, you would need the hours that you would have for a full-time job, essentially, you're saying.
Well, I don't know. It depends on your priorities.
If you have the time, I would say as much time as possible.
Yeah, as much time as possible. You can, like, on the weekends you can do more classes, take more classes. You can.
Okay, so it's never too much to improve your English.
No. But you should want to do that. You should very much to improve your English and to learn. Come to classes, to reading classes more first,
Okay.
and after that to speaking more.
Okay, so, and I have one final problem to ask you. I don't know who to cheer for in the World Cup.
Sorry?
Sorry?
I don't know which team to cheer for in the World Cup.
France.
Modal verbs.
What? Sorry.
You should
France.
cheer for France.
I should cheer for France.
You must.
You must? Okay, so repeat it. You must?
No, because Spain is eliminated for the competition, so I cannot finish the sentence.
All right, anyone else?
It's a very dangerous topic.
It's a dangerous topic, I know. That's why I'm leaving now, so I thought I could do it at the end.
Because we are a lot of Spanish here in this class.
A lot of Spanish. And you're all very unhappy today, I imagine.
Very angry, very angry.
Very angry.
You shouldn't watch World Cup.
I shouldn't watch
How
the World
about
Cup.
that? How about this advice? Do you like that?
You should
Okay.
support France.
I should support France, or I should not watch the World Cup? All right,
Mexico
okay.
is playing well.
Mexico is playing well. All right, so I'm going to support USA, and I'll stop it. I'll stop there, okay? I'll support my own team. All right,
Sounds good.
so we're out of time. Thank you all very much. I hope that was helpful, and
Thanks to you, teacher.
no problem. And keep checking back on my page. I'll be starting to do a lot more classes in the next few weeks.
Okay,
Alright.
thank you, teacher.
Okay, so everyone, have a good day, have a good night wherever you are. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.